When love feels like control, from an anxious attachment mother. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. In this video, I'm going to share with you my personal experiences of dealing with an anxious attachment. And in this case, it would be with my mother. Now, this could be in any relationship dynamic, but to put into context, to keep it authentic and true to myself, I'm going to share this experience, and you can take on the concepts and principles and how to deal with an anxious attachment style personality. So, with my mother, in the past, I used to feel that her love was like control. A lot of pressure to act and behave a certain way to be accepted by her. To feel the fear from her love that she's afraid to lose me if I choose to break away from her and to do my own thing, because she spent so much time trying to control me to be obedient and not trusting the growth, the individuality and curiosity of who I really am as a human being, because it scares the daylights out of her to not feel stable and secure with someone who goes through a lot of changes and is constantly evolving. So there's this need to control her daughter. When I have finally dismantled and dissolved the pain that was in our relationship that I was holding on to, I was able to see my mother the same way, but with a different perspective. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that my mother is the same woman that I have known for all of my life. She hasn't changed. But what has changed is that I'm no longer triggered by her programming. And to just see her for who she is without being caught up in the wounding of it all. That I could see that my mum is controlling because she actually loves and cares about me. She's just afraid that things won't go the way it's supposed to be. She's not trusting the process or the journey that I'm on. And so when I choose to see it from that perspective, that my mum wants the best for me and I'm not triggered by that anymore, I can see my mum and experience her just as she is. And when you're dealing with an anxious attachment style, they lack boundaries. They don't know when to shut up. They don't know when to listen, to pause, to hold space, because they weren't trained how to do that effectively and properly. They weren't even trained how to do that at all because of severe abandonment issues that they haven't addressed. And so an anxious attachment style is someone who's very needy, tends to create codependent and meshed relationships. They tend to use guilt on people to keep them stay in the relationship because they're feeling hurt and not feeling any sense of compassion or empathy from the other. They need constant validation and reassurance in order for them to feel secure in the relationship. and they want to spend a lot of time with you. It's all about quantity with the anxious attachment style. And so I noticed my mom would start messaging me every single day, saying good morning. And in the beginning, I would think that she is quite a needy person. And then later on, as I keep doing the inner work within myself, I can start to see that she's not needy anymore. I can see that she actually loves me. She just wants to connect with me because I'm not in my avoidant attachment style wounding with her anymore. I'm not avoiding her. I'm not running away from her. I'm not escaping from her. However, it doesn't mean I feel obligated to respond to every single message. I respond when I feel it's in my heart to do so, because that's just me being authentic. And there was a conversation that I shared with her about my brother, which was extremely vulnerable, and it felt like a betrayal. And my mum couldn't listen. She kept interrupting me. She wanted to give her my 2 cents. And all of a sudden, I just screeched out and just said, "Mom, no, stop it, shut up." And I never ever screeched at my mum like that before. And that had to come out in the conversation, because there was a part of me that wasn't being seen and heard by my mother, who was suffocating me and drowning me with her verbal diarrhea that wasn't being invited. And she finally understood that when she really hear and lean into that reaction that she has never experienced before from me. And this is where she learned how to be a good listener, to hold space and to not say anything. And that was the first time my mother has ever done that for me. Do I have any regrets to react in that way? No, because it has helped my mother to improve the way she engages with me, and to bring it to her awareness how her excessive verbal diarrhea or opinions, or her 2 cents, is actually not doing a lot of good for her daughter. And instead, it's just creating more drama and more hurt for her. And that was the first time I was able to be really vulnerable with my mother, to express myself in that way. I never ever done that ever in my life to anyone. And it really has shown me that I was ready to go deep into my relationship with my mother, and she's able to go deep with me in that way as well. So when dealing with an anxious attachment type, they don't know how to be a better listener or to be a better communicator. They don't know how to set boundaries or honor boundaries or maintain them. You have to be the one to initiate and be assertive and firm around that. And it may take them time to adjust to those boundaries. They may not like it at first because it feels like you're pushing them away and it's triggering their abandonment wounding, but they will eventually adjust and accept, because they value who you are and the relationship that they have with you. So it can be uncomfortable dealing with an anxious attachment style, because they're a lot more sensitive, more explosive, more emotional, and they don't know when to stop. And so we must learn how to set healthy boundaries with them by demonstrating the boundaries first. And it was very clear for my mum that the way she learns is through experience, not through me telling her my boundaries. It's actually through experiencing her daughter when she's in emotional pain, for her to stop and listen and learn. So we have to be kind, patient, and accepting of the anxious attachment style personalities, because it's going to take them some time for them to adjust and accustom to the way you communicate, and for your boundaries to be honored. It's not going to happen overnight. And so it requires a lot of patience and compassion, that, you know, an old dog isn't going to learn new tricks just like that. You know, it's a lot of programming for them to undo, and for them to relearn, to adjust to where you're at. And I'm so grateful that I didn't completely cut off my mum from my life, because I just knew deep down that it is something inside of me that needs to be cleared. And through this experience, I'm able to be more vulnerable, to be more authentic with my mother, but also at the same time to be more patient, compassionate, and kind to her. And when she feels that, she can learn to do the same thing for me. And that's the same with any relationship dynamic. It's going to take time. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some patience. But it's not about changing the other person. It's about what you need to shift and feel into within yourself for things to clear, heal, and integrate. So I really hope that this video serves you. And the key takeaways is to set boundaries, and do not expect the anxious attachment style to respect your boundaries the first few times. It's going to take a while. So the first time is to initiate and maintain boundaries. That's your responsibility. The second thing is to be patient, compassionate, and kind in your communication with them. So this helps them to regulate their nervous system, to soften, to be more calm and not activated and anxious. And the third thing is to learn to be more accepting and less controlling of them. And then they will learn to be less controlling of you and more accepting of you. And you can start to feel the shift in the love that you experience with them, where it doesn't feel like it's coming across as control and suffocation. You can see clearly that it's coming from a place of pure intentions, that they just want the best for you. And it's just the filters and the stories from our wounding that we need to look into to clear. And so when I screeched with my mum as a reaction over the phone, it was the first time ever that I didn't find myself in suicidal ideations. And that is a massive shift for me, because I can finally see and feel that my mum isn't abandoning me by hanging up on the phone. That she was willing to hold space for me and to listen without saying anything. So anything is possible. And people can change when you change. So if you got something from this YouTube video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this a like, comment below, and share it with your loved ones who need to hear this. And if you are ready to dive deeper with me with addressing the anxious attachment style woundings with yourself and with others, then you might be interested in enrolling into my inner child healing course, where I'm going to share with you some powerful techniques to regulate your nervous system, to then dive deeply into your healing journey with the appropriate modalities to clear and heal and attend the tender parts of you who is longing to feel accepted, forgiven, to feel nurtured and love. And it's a big struggle to be able to do that for ourselves. And this is why this course was created, so then you can integrate and embody love from within. So if you are up for this, and it is a self-paced course, it's not live, so you can just watch it in your own time, and you can revisit as many times as you need because you get lifetime access to it. So you can click on the link below to learn more, to enroll, and get started with your healing journey. If you like to engage with me live at my upcoming events, I've got my Autumn Equinox Women's Healing Circle just for women to reclaim their self-worth by breaking away from toxic femininity. If you can't join me live for this, you get 1 month access to the replay as well, so you can receive the transmission and the teachings that I share there. So you can click on the link below to learn more, to book your spot. I only take 10 maximum, including for those joining for the replay. And for my upcoming workshops and retreats, I've got my Transforming Trauma and my Conscious Relationship for singles and couples. So you can click on the links below to learn more and to book your spot or to book a free clarity call if this is right for you, and if you have any questions or concerns that you would like to address with me about that high-level container. If you prefer more of a private one-to-one experience, you can work with me for a 1-day trauma recovery retreat, and I will tailor the processes designed for your needs and your concerns, and you will receive 1 month WhatsApp phone text support after the retreat is over to keep the momentum going. You can also choose to work with me privately for 3 months in my high-level container called Find Yourself and Trust, where you receive permanent, lifelong changes within yourself, massive breakthroughs, transformations that you never thought would be possible, and how this ripples out from within and into all aspects of your life. So for you to be connected to this container, you must watch my free webinar, Overcome the Impacts of Childhood Traumas in 3 months, and to then book a free clarity call to inquire more if this is right for you, if you feel the webinar is in resonance. So you can click on the links below to learn more and to get started there. So my love, there is no limit to what you can heal. And everything is a reflection of you, even if your ego doesn't want to see it or admit it. There is something in every single relationship that you can learn from that's going to better you and benefit you to rediscover who you really are. And that is the light that's in your heart.